All right, I'm going to apologize straight away for the sound. There's nothing I can do about that. That field is beautiful. Georgia, 42-10 win over Auburn. Hey, listen, I think there's going to be people complaining about this, and I think that's your prerogative. I just think you're wrong. I thought Georgia would cover. They covered. That doesn't matter. How do you play? 500 yards of offense, 42 points. The defense, with the exception of that just fluke play, gave up, even with that fluke play, 258 yards total. You know, the quarterback can't do it. He was 13 to 38. You cannot beat Georgia without a legitimate quarterback. So Hooker, the guy at State, maybe Levis. Yeah, but no, not these guys right now. I thought, now we're seeing, Branson Robinson, almost a 100-yard game. Deshaun Edwards, 83 yards. What sealed the game, I guess, really was the 21-yard, the 30, midway through the third, Georgia going up 21-3 with Edwards' 2-yard run. But they're leaving. I tell you what, though, man, y'all, listen. I know he's got this field is so comfortable to photograph on compared to the other ones because it's so nice. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I do just want to point this out. The only non-green spots are where the cheerleaders stand for 4 hours and walk around, so it's going to kill the grass. Stetson was extremely excited about 292 yards of rushing, of which he had, I'm sorry, y'all. He had a 64-yard run. At that point, I decided I'm going to stay behind Georgia. I'm going to watch Georgia go the other way because it had been the fourth quarter, and I just didn't want to go down the other end of the field. And I saw the play, and there was nothing between him and the goal line, nothing. And he just flew past. He played, he did not. I thought something was wrong with him in the first quarter, in the first half. Like I was like, is his shoulder messed up? But he ended up the day with 22 of 32 for 208, one sack. The offensive line played better. Georgia, you need these kinds of wins. And I thought today, if you do not watch our interviews with the players, I thought that the Stetson Bennett interview today was very important because he talked about how Georgia can press at times because they're trying to play. They just need to just go out and play and forget everything else. They do hear what we're saying. Let's not be naive. The hard part is hearing it and not worrying about it. That is hard for 40-year-old people to do. We're talking about 20-something-year-old folks, and it's just challenging to hear the criticism, albeit perhaps correct, and say it doesn't bother me. Of course it bothers you. It's just what it is. I mean, it bothers any person. Ladd McConkey, look, so again, Ladd McConkey is their leading receiver. It was not a huge day. I think Georgia had 25 yards passing at the half. But then, let's see, they scored 30. How many points is that? A lot, like 25 points in the second half, whatever it was. And they left plays on the field, y'all. I mean, it was a matter of 42 less 14. Sorry, 28. Yes, that's 4 touchdowns. Like they left touchdowns on the field. The Brock Bowers ball over the top. That's a touchdown. You gave away 3 points with the Stetson fumble. I mean, you just gave away 3. This defense is playing legit now. This defense gave them the leeway a week ago to have a comeback victory. So people say, well, which Georgia team is it? And not all Southerners are stupid, okay? I hate when I do that, but this is Georgia. Like, it's all of these things. Like, was this as bad as the way they beat Oregon? Not at the beginning of the game, but by the end, it was pretty close. I mean, it was not as bad, but it was like a golf drive away from being that bad. I mean, it wasn't. It was a beating, y'all. I mean, 500 yards on 71 plays that can't be right. Yeah, that's 7 yards a play. And that's a lot. And, for Auburn to have, 4, Auburn does not currently have the players to compete with Georgia. Tank Bigsby is a good player. Hunter is a good player, but they do not have the quarterback they need. Ashford is an amazing athlete. I was right here, somewhere around right here. And he came fly. I have not seen that many fat people that fast. He was rolling. And now I don't move out of the way on the sideline unless I'm about to get hit. And I was not about to get hit, but if I'd gotten hit, it would have been bad news. So I know how to slide. I know how to do these things. Photographers, you don't go backwards, men. You either stay still, or men, folks, I shouldn't say men specifically. We don't go backwards. We either stay still and let the athletes get around us, or we move to the side. There are hedges behind us. There are TV cameras behind us. If you move backwards, you're in trouble. You're pinned in. We go to the side. That's how that works. Sideline was out of control today, but y'all don't care about that. This was the type of win Georgia needed to get it going again. And when you have a performance like we saw a week ago in Middle Earth, now that's going to look different after today. That was a game where they had to win. They didn't have to look good. They had to win. My big thing is not who you play, how do you play. Georgia started slow, but the avalanche came. And that was with leaving points. Jack Penesley, that attempted kick came when Georgia had a first down going into the red zone that was called back for an illegal block by Darnell. So, that's not going to continue to happen. And then obviously giving away 3 points. So you sacrifice, let's just say 6 points right there on the turnover from Stetson and the missed field goal, which could have possibly been a touchdown from Georgia. So, yeah, it's getting better. I do not have the drive chart. Y'all know I love the drive chart because it really tells you the what the day is like. But way too many penalties for Auburn. Y'all don't think Sanford matters? And I thought today, by the way, it was good at times. That's nothing compared to the way this place can be like. This place can get all on top of people. And I'm just going to let you know right now, Georgia's going to play Vandy, right? They really need y'all for that Tennessee game. Now, Georgia should beat Tennessee, but that's going to be a fight. Mississippi State's going to be a fight too. But Georgia, when they get back to Athens from Jacksonville, they're going to need this crowd. You are allowed to use your crowd. And today, Auburn could not deal with the crowd. And I've been around here a long time. That was not that bad. That was nothing. That Tennessee game, if y'all want Georgia to win, you're going to need to really be ready to roll. That whole, from the start of the game all the way to the end. There's none of this, I got to get back to the tailgate. I got to go to Atlanta. My bro fest starts in 2 hours. No, then just don't come to the game. Give your tickets to somebody else because you're not, Georgia will need the crowd the whole time against Tennessee because Tennessee can score. Now, I don't know if what Tennessee did today is an example of what they're going to do from here on out or not. LSU just did not play well. And there were times they did not play well against Auburn last week, but they won. I hope Kendall is okay. Kirby said it was a groin. I think Stetson, I understand what again, really, go and look at the Stetson interview that we had because we were with him maybe for 7 or 10 minutes. It's important to listen to what he said about pressing. It's important to hear what he said about, how I think personally they're trying to be, this is my projection of what they're trying to do at times. They're trying to be perfect. And Stetson's just saying, we just need to go play. Yes. And Kirby too was saying, it's just been we're taking turns with who's goofing up. And he's right. But we've seen now this team play at an elevated level for, I would say, 80% of the, I don't know, is 80 too high? You're talking about if you take the first half of this game and the first half of the Missouri game and make that a game, you might not win that game. If you look at the second half of both of these games, the games are not competitive in any way, like not competitive in any way. And so that's not how sports works. Part of what Georgia's doing is they're trying to run to set up the third and fourth quarter. And it was not hot today, but the sun was consistent and the sun was right on Auburn's bench the whole time. And it just beats down on top of you, even with the white jerseys. It was constant, constant, constant. And I felt it, even though I was in the sun for the whole first half, but not in the second necessarily. But you get drained, and like you have to liquid up the whole time. And then Georgia's plan is we are going to beat you up in the second half. They scored 21 points. 28 points. They outscored Auburn by 21, 28 to 7. 28 to 7 times 2 is a nasty win. Just 42 to 10 is a nasty win. So I think the biggest thing to me about this game, this is a fascinating. I don't think y'all can really see it. This guy's got a thing blowing the grass away, and they're getting ready to. The field, I'm telling y'all, I cannot express how nice the field is. And they are getting it covered. I don't know if there's rain on the way, but I know you got, one more game and then you got a month break. But this team, it is one of the three teams that clearly has the best chance to win the national championship. It is a team that can start cold and bury your ass. And that they can do that because they don't let you score, first of all. I mean, they just don't let you score. And then secondly, they can get hot. And 28 points and a half is a lot, y'all. I mean, if you're up 28 to 10, it feels like the game is over in the first half. It feels like the other team can't stop you. And there were times tonight where it felt like Auburn could not stop Georgia. But there was no one player. I mean, I thought Stetson certainly picked it up. He was not. That's the other thing, too. There's going to be times that Stetson Bennett does not play well. That's just all there is to it. I mean, quarterbacks, that you don't want to be completely quarterback dependent because a quarterback cannot play well, and that's not what you want, right? But I want to make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION. The link is down below. If you order one, you'll get a shirt, but you have to tell me. You have to email me, and people have been doing that. If you don't email me, I'm going to send the book on out. There's nothing I can do about it. But like Oscar Delp had a good day. Brock Bowers had a good day. Stop me if you've heard this before. I think Kenny was okay. He had a huge run at some point, what was it? A catch? Yeah, it was they're just nickel and diming you. But now you got Edwards and Robinson, ripping them up in the second half. I think all of these runs were second half runs. Robinson for a 30-yarder, Edwards for a 28-yarder. I know Stetson's was a 64-yarder. That has to be one of Georgia's biggest plays of the year. But look, besides the slow start, if you want, Georgia didn't score in the first. It was 14-0 going into the half, and I'm sure people are like, oh my God, and then so, they're not perfect. And I'm going to go watch Alabama tonight, and I'm going to watch Clemson, I think. And I'm going to watch whoever plays Stanford is kicking off at 11 p.m. And, that game's just going to watch itself, man. Someone has to watch it too, and that will be me. But you're not going to always, be able to serve and hit forehands. You got to hit backhands too. They're going to make you. The other team has guys. And tonight, though, way too many guys for Georgia and way too few guys for Auburn. Defensively, Pop had a good game again. Ryan Davis was out there a lot. Nolan with that. I didn't understand the fake punt from Auburn. I mean, it felt like, talk about pressing. So I talked to someone that I know, an Auburn person, after the game, and these people are my friends. I've known them for a long, long time, and they're great people. And I said, is this going to happen soon? And their reply was, well, hopefully tomorrow. But I don't know that that's what's going to happen. This is a bad loss. 42-10. You're completely outmatched. You got a quarterback running around out there, 13 of 38. I mean, that's it's just not good enough. I mean, Tank Bigsby is a good running back. Hunter is a good running back. These are good players, but you can't just have one thing. You have to have it all. If you don't have all the pieces to the puzzle, you can't complete the puzzle. And it's really that simple. But for Georgia, a Vanderbilt game, and what we're looking at is, are you playing well? It doesn't matter that you're playing Vanderbilt, who pushed Mississippi today, top 10 Mississippi. Doesn't matter that you are playing Vanderbilt. That is irrelevant. How do you play? Are you crisp? Is this Florida kind of goofed around with Missouri today? I think that was probably a good win for Florida, just to be frank. So Georgia now we're going to see, can they continue to chop it up and get going? I do not think Florida is in their universe. I certainly don't think Vanderbilt is. But how are you playing? When you have to hit backhands, when you're not slam dunking, can you play crisp offense? Can your defense continue to hold people, under 20 points a game? And if you do that, that's how you win. All right, from Athens, Dean from Dog Post signing off. Thanks for watching.